David and welcome to another crowdsourced video detailing my Discord server's top 10 best RPG sages. So far we've discussed monks, thieves, white mages, black mages, archers, bards, dancers, and gunners, so now it's time to let the magical powerhouses shine. This series seems to be pretty popular, and if you want to take part 2, be sure to come and join the Discord. Please keep in mind that this is not necessarily my opinion, but the opinion of the best Discord server around. So join and become part of the fun as this series continues throughout the rest of the year. Also, just to keep things a little bit interesting and not chock full of Final Fantasy, I did keep all franchises limited to only 2 submissions. So with that, let's roll up our sleeves and punish some bards. Number 10, submitted by Vivi and receiving 31 votes, is Momo from the Xenosaga series. Before we start, let's think about what a typical sage is. A wise older person who masters healing and damaging spells. But what about whenever they're younger? Well, they're an apprentice of all sorts of magic at a lower level, and then they grow more powerful with time, and Momo fits that exact description. When she starts, she's pretty frail, but leaving her aside would be a huge mistake. She later on becomes the best healer and has the most powerful ether spells too. I mean, she's so strong that you can literally solo the game with her. But what about her wisdom? Well, she does have the wide data that everybody in the universe wants to get, so I don't think that you can get more wise than that. Number 9, submitted by Ace Trainer AJ and Clear, and receiving 33 votes, is Ott from Radiant Historia. Whoever said that sages have to be crotchety old men? This 9-year-old Sadaros girl with a massive crush on Stock may be the youngest party member in the game, but she's pretty overpowered. Her main shtick is setting up elemental traps on free tiles that deal massive damage whenever enemies are pushed into them. On the rare chance that Ott can't set up her traps, she can double as your healer or even your thief. Ott is arguably the most useful party member in the entire game, and thankfully, she's actually with you in both timelines. Pretty much the only thing that she can't do is move enemies around the field. But since she can do like everything else, it's really just a small price to pay for the utility that she does bring to the party. Number 8, submitted by Casual Tom and Contigo and receiving 33 votes, is Selen from Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. Selen is the most powerful general of the Parcelite army, and as such, she is a well-rounded unit with access to pretty much every single spell in the game, save for some elven-only magic. Her equipment draw and stats put her far more in line with the Sage class than anybody else, as she does prefer rods, light armors, and circulets, whereas everybody else is really using swords, axes, and bows. She's just as functional as a healer as an attacker, and unlike some other powerful sages, she joins up with you fairly early on in your adventure, and she's by your side till death does you part. And let's not forget her badass take no prisoners personality, and being the mother of all the future descendants of Maxim make her a great all-around pick. Number 7, submitted by Black Box and receiving 36 votes, is Cecilia from Wild Arms. Our resident princess is the party's one-stop destination for all things magical. She uses a unique crest system to craft her spells by combining any 2 of the 4 prime elements and then choosing either a black or white inclination, and after that, a spell is then formed. This is super unique and fun to experiment with. You can get your basic flame, aqua, and heal spells, and then more situational support spells, but whenever all is said and done, she's going to have a possible 64 spells to be able to cast. But again, it does take a lot more than just magic to be a great sage. Being the princess of the Adelheid Kingdom, Cecilia was burdened with the duties of her station, but she wants people to love her for who she is, and her arc is a beautiful exploration of what it means to love and to be loved in return. Number 6, submitted by Parazophilus Z and receiving 40 votes, is Yukiko from Persona 4. Yukiko truly embodies the spirit of a sage, being both the best healer and the best caster in the game. She can use the Rare Salvation, fully healing and removing debuffs from all party members, and she has access to both Fire Amp and Magariadine, making her a dangerous fire elemental spellcaster. Fitting the image of a sage, she's the only party member whose SP for magic are higher than her HP, and her physical attack is nothing to write home about. Despite her name meaning snow child and her upbringing as a high-class inn proprietress, she has a fiery personality that matches her flames that her persona fights with. This girl brings healing, magical power, and plenty of grace and class to the party throughout the entire game. Number 5, submitted by definitely not Davidvinc and receiving 51 votes, is Nina from Breath of Fire 4. While all the previous Ninas fit into a nice mold of either white or black magic, Nina's Breath of Fire 4 incarnation lets her truly express her magical powers fully. She's built the way that I always imagined her to be, with the best healing spells in the game, but also with powerful wind magic to boot. She's no longer a one-trick pony, only able to heal in the first game or just waiting to be overshadowed by better characters in the second and third games. In the fourth, she is definitely able to hold her own as a magical powerhouse and then combo the crap out of enemies with the best of them. This is the way that our winged princess should have always been. Number 4, submitted by Squiggles Neck, Lacrondis, and Vagabond Dork, and receiving 67 votes, is Rab from Dragon Quest XI. Good old Rab. As one of the last party members to join up with the group, he really does round it out. While the sisters each specialize in their own schools of magic, Rab dabbles in all sorts, with access to support, healing, debuffing, and damaging spells. And, despite the game making him look kind of like a Talon throwback and hinting that he's somewhat of a martial artist, he's not. Don't be fooled. This feisty old man is definitely a sage, especially once you fill out his stat tree to give him access to heavy wands, as well as enlightenment skills. The poor guy also has the most moving and sad moments, and that's saying a lot considering that Dragon Quest XI is filled with moving and sad moments. Whenever he asks the party to leave him alone with his daughter, my heart just goes out to him. Number 3, submitted by Elise and receiving 69 votes, is Arith from Final Fantasy VII. Arith is a very unique character in the world of Final Fantasy VII, since she is the character with by far the highest magic stat. Truly, she is really the only true magically orientated character in the entire game. So if you think of her as like a stereotypical white mage, you're using her wrong. Well, if you load anybody else down with elemental material, they'll lose their offensive capabilities. That doesn't really matter for a little flower girl, since she really doesn't have that much physical aptitude anyway. And that's not even covering her role in the plot as a descendant of the Cetra, a magical people gifted with powerful magic from birth. Now, she was only gifted with a proper grasp of the English language. Number 2, submitted by King Urameshi and receiving 70 votes, is Mallow from Super Mario RPG. Our sweet little fluffball starts off as a whiny, naive little nobody who cries his little poor eyes out and gets taken advantage of. But as he progresses in his journey, he grows in strength, wisdom, and character. The Sage Mallow is easily Mario's most versatile partner and true dedicated mage. He begins with multi-targeting lightning magic, and then grows to fulfill more roles as he learns HP Rain for healing, Psychopath for scouting weaknesses, and then's truly able to harness the power of weather with lightning and snowy, both dealing massive damage. Couple his classic traits of a sage with his journey of self-discovery, watching him grow and evolve as a person gives you such a feeling of satisfaction over the course of this masterpiece. Number 1, submitted by King Urameshi and GZ Sprout and receiving 76 votes, is Sage Tella from Final Fantasy IV. While Tella might not be the best sage ever, he is nothing if not iconic. You first meet the grouchy old coot in the underground waterway where he carries your team before storming off after a spoony spat with a certain bard. Later, you'll meet him again on Mount Ordeals, and here he relearns just about every single spell in the entire game. And while he can't really do all that much with his limited MP, he is still invaluable, able to cast super powerful spells that nobody else can access, and then later on acting as your only healer through 2 particularly god-awful dungeons, the Magnetic Cave, as well as the Tower of Zod. Old man Tella can't hold on to his mortal coil, but he is your saving grace for the middle of the game. Well, that's it for the top 10 best JRPG sages as decided by my Discord server. We do have quite a few more honorable mentions though. Fusoya, Hope, Realm, and Leonora from the Final Fantasy series, Pent from Fire Emblem 7, Kira and Noah from the Phantasy Star series, Fina from Skies of Arcadia, Mistral from Dot Hack, Elise from Tales of Xillia, Natalie from Epic Battle Fantasy, Marcassin of Ni no Kuni, Lena from Chrono Cross, Namisa from Shin Megami Tensei Soul Hackers, Blue from Saga Frontier, Kumatora from Mother 3, Sophia from Star Ocean 3, Lilka from Wild Arms 2, Emma from Trails of Cold Steel. Who are your favorite sages and why? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to take part in future class ranking videos, come and join the Discord channel to make your voice be heard too. The link to it can be found in the video description as well as the comments. I do hope to see you there. And as always, if you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.